Thank you very much. ITM's knowledge, expertise, and resources will be benefit for the medicaps who will explore this. But with the wish that this will this will set as a milestone to go together and explore the possibilities for the benefit of the community. So I wish all the success for both the universities for a joint collaboration work. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Now, as is the yeah. So should we start the next one?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So shall I be able to share it?
Yes, sir.
I will like to brief about you to the audience.
Please.
Now we are moving towards the most awaiting session after completing this online MoU signing ceremony. And I assure you on behalf of ITMSLS for the university, sir, this symbiotic association will result in synergistic effect rather than additive. So it will be 1 plus 1 is equal to 3 rather than 2. Thank you.
Speaker.
Jaswanti, 1 plus 1 also 11.
Yes, 1 plus 1. Yes. 11 is better than 3, sir.
Yes.
So we have a eminent personality with us, Dr. Dilip Patnaik, sir, Vice Chancellor, Medical University. He is an able and versatile administrator. He holds a unique profile, which is rarely seen in professional in education sector. He holds a PhD in oceanography, MPhil in marine chemistry, MSc in meteorology, and BSc in math, as well as MBA and LLB. He has more than 30 years of experience in planning, developing, and establishing professional and technical universities. Previously, he was Pro-Vice Chancellor of Seth University, Indore, Vice Chancellor of Mysore University. He also worked in the capacity of Vice Chancellor of Texila American University, Registrar of IIT Kanpur, Registrar of Thapar University, Patiala, Registrar and Head of Training and Placement with Synergy, Odisha. Professor Patnaik is one of those leaders who also naturally serve as an inspiring mentor for whole staff and students with a background in a science, law, management, and years of work of experience as an academic administrator and educator. Professor Patnaik exhibits a strong interpersonal skill and a unique capacity for empathy. His end-to-end knowledge in quality assurance and in higher education, most notably translate his ability to motivate a team to care about its work and be invested in the success of the university. So with this brief introduction, I request us to start with his expert talk on best practices and NAAC accreditation. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Jaswanti. Thank you for your nice introduction.
Please.
Okay. So can I share my screen?
Yes, sir. It is visible, sir.
Is it visible?
You should go for the full screen. Full screen view, sir. It's fine now. It's fine now.
Okay. Okay, I hope it is now visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So today, what I have discussed today, we will discuss about the best practices in accreditation. I don't know what exactly we mean from this, but I am expecting this should be an interactive session for both of the faculties of the universities. Let us understand what exactly accreditation is and why it is important, why you should go for it. And if you go for it, what should you do? And you must have known about this. Accreditation is not a foreign word. It is not a buzzword. It is not any sort of one. Everyone knows about this. But what exactly we mean about this and how we can go for that? And what should be the final points we should address? That we will discuss. And I will appreciate all the participants here. Whatever questions you are having, let us have an interaction on that. So I will make it a very short and allowing you to ask the questions to me, and I will be happy if I can answer you for this. This picture must be known to you. This is a great personality, Mr. Ramanujan. I will say Dr. Ramanujan, the great mathematician. So why I am showing this picture to you? Around 120 years back, he was studying in Madras University. He was studying in BA. And he kept on failing in one subject in the first year of BA, that is in English. And after such events, trying for 2 and 3 years, he could not even qualify the first year BA examination. The people around him, they knew that he's a genius, he's an excellent student, but he was very poor in English. And though after having all his qualities in English, mathematics and science and other things, Madras University failed him to give a degree in graduation. Forget about the degree in graduation, they could not even pass them and take him to the next class, that is the second year of BA. So he discontinued from there, he could not even complete. But during that time, the great British mathematician J.H. Hardy, he discovered that Ramanujan is having a genius and he is having extraordinary qualities and a knowledge in mathematics. So he picked him, he took him to this Ireland and the Scotland also. There he studied and discovered, and after this he graduated and he studied in Oxford and also in Harris College. Then he came here, and you will be surprised to know this Madras University appointed him as a professor. Just think of this, today's India. Can a student without having a degree in a BA or this undergraduate or postgraduate, can he be appointed as a lecturer, as a teacher, as a professor in any university? Can you do that? But the excellence, it doesn't obey any boundary, because Oxford University has appreciated and awarded him PhD degree. That's why it became easy for us to appoint him as a professor. So though he's not having any degree in Indian degree, in an undergraduate or postgraduate, he was appointed as a professor. How come it is? Only because the university, the Oxford University, which has given some reputation, which has come some credibility, that's why we accepted it. So what is now what I want to say, any institution having any sort of credibility, any sort of level, or any sort of this accreditation or acceptance in the society, if that big university does something, others university very easily accept that. So that is one level. So that is an excellence where it is being shown to the public, where it is public accepted. Now I will just show you one more thing. Now look at this chap. He's a cab driver in Sydney. And what is the relation of a cab driver with this accreditation process? This story I heard from Professor Dinesh Singh, the former Vice Chancellor of Delhi University. During his tenure of Vice Chancellor at Delhi University, he happens to travel the different countries, and once he landed in Sydney, he was having one seminar there. When he landed in Sydney, he took a cab and he discovered that cab driver is an Indian. Then he started discussing with him in Hindi. Then he came to know that cab driver, he is having an honors degree in commerce, bachelor in commerce, from a very reputed college from Delhi University, which is known for its highest cut-ups. I'm not going to name that college. You must be knowing that. That college in Delhi University, who is knowing for its highest cut-up in graduation or undergraduate admission, he is having a degree of honors in commerce there. And he told that why I am here, because after getting this honors degree in commerce, undergraduate commerce, he thought that now I will move away from India, I will go to Australia and I will conquer the world, because I am having a degree from a very good reputed college. When he landed there in Sydney, and he was really upset. No one is accepting his degree. He's saying this, what you have studied is worthless. It is not worth of our requirement. So he didn't get a job. He didn't get a post-graduation entrance also. And he, at the end of the day, he landed up, and he, for his earning, he preferred to drive a cab. And he told, when he realized that the other gentleman is Professor Dinesh Singh, happens to be the Vice Chancellor of Delhi University, he told, Professor Saab, kuch kijiye, hamare saath dhoka ho raha hai. We have been cheated here, please do something. And the students like me, they are coming outside India, and our degree is not being accepted by the employees, nor by these education institutions. So that means what I want to say here, our degree, we do not have an accreditation, and we do not have, and this Western or the other countries, they are not accepting our degree. And something we are not matching with the quality, what is required. So that's why the accreditation comes into picture. Now, I will, what exactly you mean by higher education? We all in the higher education and say this. If I ask this question, I am sure I will get a number of different answers. Someone will say higher education is to develop the knowledge. Some will say it is about the competency. Some will say it is to generate some sort of the quality to get the employability. Or someone will say, no, he will have some sort of quality and problem solving, face the society. And he will say someone this, no, he can have this some socio-economic knowledge so that he can change the world. So many answers, and all the answers are correct. But what exactly higher education for? And what it is some requirements from this. There are the three main sources what they require. For higher education, we know various of higher education. We are in some professional courses, some normal courses, some liberal arts courses. But whatever higher education you do and you start, you need some sort of the legal requirements, some sort of regulatory requirements. Legal means some government says if you want to set up a college, if you want to set up an university, you must have this much of area, this much of requirement, this much of books, like that. And for different courses also, there are some regulatory bodies. Some engineering, there is a regulatory body, AICT, some is having a PCI, some courses having the UGC, so and some NCT, so many regulatory bodies are. So certain requirements from regulatory bodies are there. And when higher education comes, there are certain requirements from the customer. The students, when they read, they have some expectation. What I am requiring and now what I expecting from this, and the learner need to say. And the third is from the community expectation. It's a broader community we will discuss in later. What does community exactly mean? That means the community where the students are going to learn. It may be an employer, maybe this higher education institution. So this, now, let me make it little bit clear. When I say this community expectation, there are three types of community. One is academic community, they're like peers. If I am an university, there are 4 or 5 universities there are some other colleges are there. They are also looking forward to us and looking up to us what I can deliver. And today we are signing an MoU, and you have some expectation from me, and I have some expectation from you, how I can help you and what the contributions you can give it to me, and how many research paper you are having, how many resources I am having, and how many of the faculty I can spare for you, and what are the knowledge I can pass it to you. So these are some academic community expectations are there from their peers. And the second expectation is from wider society. What the society, whenever you are having some institution somewhere, what the society is expecting from you, whether they are expecting if you are having a college here or a university here, they are expecting if some problem here, societal problem is here, some solution must come from this university or the higher education institutions. I do not have any hesitation to say that in more or less we are having 12 different type of vaccines presently this being circulated for corona, this COVID-19 in this world. And you will be happy to know that the source of these vaccines, out of the 12, 9 vaccines are being created only, developed only in the university laboratories. Of course, that has been commercialized by different pharmaceutical agencies, but 9 vaccines are being developed in the university laboratory. That means the wider community, the society always looks up towards us. There's something we will give it to the society. And the third requirement is the word of works. Works means different enterprises, maybe civil organization, public sector, where the students, after this having their degree, where they will work. And how they will get this bread and butter from this? After this education, how can they utilize it? So this is an expectation from three different sectors. Then if I put it in a nutshell, I will see higher education, what is the expectation, what is the outcome? What exactly accomplishment the students are getting after this higher education? It is clear they are getting this diversified learning opportunity. If I am having some sort of a liberal arts, maybe some professional courses, so they are having more opportunities, diversified opportunities to learn more. And undoubtedly, their employability is being enhanced also. And definitely they enhance their qualification too. And during their knowledge and during their education, the grooming, they develop some sort of the research attitude. They look at it, every aspect in a different angle, and the innovation subsequently follows that. And the application of their learning, they are capable of that, and they have the aptitude and development attitude and aptitude for that. And they have a sense of goal of achieving everything. So this is an expected outcome from a higher education. So are we giving these outcomes to that? So whatever this objective we are having, we have to measure and map it with the outcome, whether we are achieving this outcome or not. Okay, let's discuss in next slide. What is this? Now we have said this expectations are coming from the three different sources. So whenever this different sources, I will say regulator or governments, some education institution or higher education institution or universities in the setup, the government prescribes some sort of rule. It is being framed by the experts. They have certain expectation that this university or this institution will deliver it. Why? It is to safeguard the stakeholders from that, to safeguard the students, to ensure the better performance or this outcome of that. They have certain guidelines. So these guidelines are often developed by the experts, and it may be subject wise or it may be category wise. So this, they have created a level and they make it a form wise, and we call it as an accreditation. So this accreditation, if they fulfill, the government agencies or regulatory agencies, they usually say that you are accredited, and they ensure the quality, education and outcome of this university. And different types of even they do not give the accreditation, they also give some sort of quality assurance manuals. We will discuss in the later slide. And what are the higher education institution expectations from this quality expectation? Every higher education institution, may it be a small college, may it be a big university, they want to explore, they want to explore more opportunity, they want to excel, and they want to have this achieve everything, starting from academics, non-academics, how the best we can show to the public and how we can attract the students and how we can deliver it. So for that, may it be an admission process, may it be this placement process, may it be in this academic process, may it be some sort of this ambience also. They want to put their best, but for that, everything is a quality. There is a quality. How you park your car is also, it is a quality. This, if a lot of space are there, diagonally you put it in this other space you are occupied, that means there is not a discipline on this, or quality is not being maintained there. So the internal quality cell has to be developed inside an university to find it out that how we can make this the students, all the stakeholders and staffs discipline, so that at the end of the day, the outcomes should be achieved by that. And second, for this, one manual has to be prepared. Haphazardly, if I believe, also, okay, I will maintain quality, but exactly what the quality means, what? It is not a single word, it is not a single sentence, it is a behavior, it is a practice. What practice has to be there? It has to be jotted down. And usually in general term, we call it the SOP, standard operating process. If I perform a class work, what should be my the standard operating process? And if I just say this type of facility, I will give it to the students, what should be the standard operation process? If at the examination, what should be standard operating process? So every time, every institution have their regulations, or there may be there's some working rules or internal quality manuals. The third comes is stakeholder community. Stakeholder community means what exactly? It is not the students and alumni and faculty. The outer world also. Outer world is having some expectation from us. They have a different quality levels. They are expected, if we just fulfill and achieve their expectations, they give us a level. Okay, you are now this. Like if we have standard process on this, if we achieve this, say it is ISO 1. So that level they give it us. And if you have some green buildings and you save energy something, they certify you as a green building or green certificate. These are different levels are there. So let us discuss about the levels. What type of levels are here and how can get and what the different communities give it to that. And it is not necessary that one institution can get all the levels, whatever is required for us, and we have to achieve that level. Now I'm putting it very simple here. Say some levels we get about the subject specific. Some sort of say we will discuss about management, say AA, CSB or EQUIS. These are some internal standards, some sort of independent body. They have certain guidelines. If you pass and achieve this, they give you a level, you are a AA CSB qualified. Similarly, EQ arts for liberal arts and arts colleges are there. And ABET, it is for engineering, CAM HP for the medical. So many subject-oriented levels are given by different communities or different stakeholders, different bodies. But of course, the third column, look at this, NBA, NAAC and ICR, I'm discussing at the Indian context. The National Board of Accreditation, they are giving, practically it was under the AICTE, but after the 2011, it is an independent body. It is giving some professional courses accreditation. And similarly, NAAC is giving the independent body. And ICR is also an independent body. So they are giving some specific subject-specific accreditation or level. Similarly, some provisions levels are being provided, like e-learning, MoU, open-end learning, these type of things also. If you follow this, they say, yes, you are here and you have qualified this. And similarly, in India also, what we call the SWAYAM portal, if you develop something, you prepare some MOOCs and you either qualify this or some sort of this courses. If any students do that, we accept as a curriculum part also. These are provisions. And some aspect levels are also there. What is aspect levels? Like a Pascal. Pascal is in global provisions. It is given by a community of British. They say that how student-oriented this institution is. For everything, it may be starting an admission, it may be providing a canteen facility, providing a sports facility. How you are student-oriented? If you are student-oriented, they will give you a certificate. You are Pascal certified. Similarly, Guardian Diversity is one of this world's biggest organization. What is gives you level. So that level is that how many diversified courses you are having. It may be even one or two institutions in India, they are also Guardian Diversity. Some institutions even start with the micro subjects like Panchayat Raj course also there. Some sort of public health distribution system also there. So how diversified? Because we are talking about the university. University means a universal education. अगर हम हिंदी में कहें तो विश्वविद्यालय, विश्व का ज्ञान हमें देना है. It is not about a single subject. It should be diversified. And every subject has some sort of a link and dependence on others. So what we call is a diversified this. So this is one of, and here in Indian, we call it as IC, AISHE. All India Survey for Higher Education, they take the all diversified information from you. So these are the quality levels we get. Again, here, before going to the slide, I will just tell you this. Whether this accreditation, all the levels, I'm going to the back of the slide, is it required? Should we go for that? I'm just citing one incident. It is an incident, I heard it from one Professor D. Sundar, and he was from IIM Indore. And he was citing an this incident. They thought that they will have some collaboration with an US university. I don't want to name that university. And they went to that university, they approached that university. Then they asked this IIM Indore, okay, we want to have a collaboration, but what is your credibility? Then this authorities, the people who are representing this IIM Indore, they told, we are IIM. Then the US university, okay, so what? But what accreditation, what of this credibility we are having? Again, they said, we are IIM. They said, so what? We don't understand what IIM is. Whether you are AACSB accredited, that means the standard is not IIM. IIM might be for a big for your locality, but no one understands that. We have to speak in the global language. Their yardstick is a measure of yardstick is whether if you are a management institution, unless you are CSB accredited, we do not take you as a very credible institutions. Then why I will be tying up with you? So the question arises: what is your credibility in this global aspect? And locally, you might be a very big one. Anyone you ask here, oh, IIT, IIM, it's a big one. But a big one is a small concept. So that's why we have to have these levels. Now, this quality is in habit. As I told you, quality, it cannot be injected. Of course, some sort of discipline, it can be achieved by training. What you call excellence can be achieved by training. And again, I say, we do not act rightly because we have the virtue of excellence. But we have those because we act rightly. If you act rightly in a disciplined manner, automatically excellence and the quality will be achieved. So we have to make it a habit, not as an only a this khana purti in Hindi mein jam kehte hain, only not for this giving, I am having this and I will fulfill this. Now, fine, we have now more or less convinced that we should have some accreditation, we should have some global standards. But how to implement this? How we can achieve this discipline? First of all, as we discussed, we should have a manual, or what in Indian consider to say SOP, standard operating process. So a guide, we should develop a guide for practice for every aspect. It may be a student engagement, might be as an academic delivery, might be an examination, might be your even payroll for that. What is the guide of practice we should have? Then we have to integrate the quality assurances. If we do this, whether the quality is achieved or not, we do have an integration and mapping on that. Then if we are internally satisfied, then we will ask a third person. We do not know what our shortcomings we do have. An individual cannot assess its fault. So we will make it open to the third party or an external evaluation to know that how good we are and where we are now. So fine, this is, we have discussed about the accreditation. What is it? Definitely this benefit of accreditation. In generic, I told you, people didn't accept you. They want that whether you have a global credibility or not. Besides this, there are some benefits we must understand. The institution first knows and he exposes himself knowing what is his strength, what's his weakness. I can put it in a different word. When you have, you are not having any sort of disease, you are a very healthy person, still we go for an annual checkup. When you do this annual checkup, you know, oh, I do have some vitamin B deficiency. Yeah, there is some sort of a vitamin D deficiency also there. You looks healthy. You walk well, you sit well, you eat well, you talk well, but still then when you have some sort of this annual medical checkup, you find that there is some sort of things which I have to act upon that, we have to develop that. So that is one type of this accreditation best benefit you are getting. So in other words, I say, you know what is your strength, what your weakness, and where the opportunity and where you have to work upon. And you identify the internal areas of planning. You know this particular area for the research area or for this collaboration area, I'm having this, some deficiency, then I will work on this. So this you can identify. And the collegiality on the campus will develop. We say this is a very good one. If I name some institution, people say, I know that. I heard about this, a good institution. Good in what? So this is, unless all elements are good and all the collegians, it works like a corporate. It is not work like a department wise. So a collegiality will develop in the campus. And thus, when you have accredited, you have some credibility. Definitely, the funding agency will have some sort of inclination. They have some sort of preference over you on that. And those who are having some accreditation and standards on that, innovation and modern methods of pedagogy, definitely they will develop. How will it develop? First, you know what is what and which area you have to develop. Then you will depend on this others and you collaborate with others and you will learn from the other best practices to develop this. A new sense of direction and identity and of the institution will there. What you must be doing well, and you must be having this good revenue and very pretty good infrastructures and admissions, no problem, and placements okay. But even that, even that, whatever this, you are having some factor missing. What is that factor missing? You new direction. Might be you say the students are not getting that satisfaction in the class, or some society is not getting that sort of expectation what they are expecting from the institutions in and around. So you will find the direction. Yes, the outreach program is missing, the societal work and this what are missing. That's why the local people do not know about this. The local people do not get this the benefit of this institution. You can find some sort of direction if you go upon the mapping on the accreditation, the form filling up. Then the society look the same thing, and employers will have this thing, and inter-institutional interaction. Today, what we are having in this MoU, you do not look at this in a paperwork of signing an agreement and showing on the paper this clapping on this. This is not the end of the game. Probably this is start of the game. What we are having and what of this this priority we are having, and what the infrastructure we are having, what of this best practices we are having. So how I can contribute you the more and more, as I told you from my the beginning. If you want to go fast, walk alone. But if you want to go far, work together. So you have to work together. Okay, that's fine. Benefit of the accreditation, more or less every people know. But the faculty, those who are joining here, some of the faculty must be having some questions on the back of their mind. Okay, boss, this is fine. All the accreditation, this benefits I will get. But what benefit I will get? If the accreditation, this institution will get accredited. If they get fund, institution will get that. If the society, the management and this institution will get, what is my benefit? If I am not having benefit, why these people are just forcing me and putting me in hard in this work on this accreditation? What is my benefit? This really is a very pertinent question. Some staffs also will say, okay, sir, if you go for accreditation, you will get a reputation, you will get a brand. But what about me? Let's discuss on that. What you will get this benefit on this. Okay, fine. As I told you, this society, formal recognition, that's fine. I'm not going to discuss on that. Management, okay. You will get more financial assistance. You will say this, even if you are AICT organization, unless you are in accredited, some NBA is not there, you will not get RID fund from there. There's so many things, corpus fund nahi milega aapko, and this readiness elimination is there. And as an institution, if you are accredited, accreditation is there, your competency reliability will be there. Whenever you are applying for this, say you are under some strict control of some regulatory body like AICT or PCI something. Whenever you put this for financial assistance, for branding, for research, and even for your revenue generation, might be it is an admission. You will get some support. Up to this, it is okay. But now I'm coming to the faculty members. What the faculty members will get is, and when this we say accreditation, some standards will be there. And when we learn from each other's the best practices, then you will find whatever these gray areas are there. Whatever the teaching methodology you are having, you must learn something more. At the end of the teaching on that day, you will have some feel of accomplishment. Yes, today I taught well. This is the delivery, that these things I wanted to deliver. So this is improved teaching and research quality will be there. And I'm sure that no teacher will continue for lifelong in one institution. But whenever he goes, he must go with the salability. What is his achievement there? If you learn something from these practices, from innovation, from this research, and from this development, and he will have a more consultancy work here, and he will have a more sort of this publication space here, and he will have an opportunity for academic freedom here. So that will make him an accomplished one also as a faculty. That is his development. It may not be a monetary development, but it is based in the rich dividend in professional development. That is, I say to my all faculty members, if you do this, indirectly you are getting and enriching your professional. Okay, that's fine. To some extent, some faculty member agree with me, fine. What about the non-teaching staffs? When you have some accreditation, we'll discuss what accreditation, how we'll do that. Definitely the process will improve. The process will improve when the level comes up that, say, you are doing something manually, you are doing something in, semi-manually also. Some ERP will be there, some technical process will be there. So skill upgradation will be there. And there is a provisions, and non-teaching staffs, they are the really workers behind the screen. Unless they do have their perform well, you cannot perform well. So their skill also will be developed there, and they will get a better work environment there. Again, do not measure everything in terms of financial benefit. There will be a professional benefit with there. But students, of course, when after the completion of this, today also, if you ask the students, where are you from? IIT students proudly says, I'm from IIT. But don't you think that the students, those who are coming from a very normal college, they do have some sort of the complex when they are revealing, sir, I'm coming from this and this college. So to overcome that, why he will live with that stigma? And is it not our responsibility to give the benefit to the students and making accredited, say them, feel them proud for lifelong? Whenever he says that, goes out, says, I'm from this and this, and it is a great college. So that's the students benefit get. So that's why I request all the stakeholders work hand to hand, shoulder to shoulder, make it happen. You probably do not know what the achievement you are getting today, but with the long run, there is a rich dividend, probably beyond your expectation you will get. Now, today this is a title, the best practices. What are the best practices? There is no shortcut to any sort of success. It takes some time. So yes, sir, first of all, it depends on the leadership of the institution. Leadership doesn't mean that only a single person. He should, I do not mean he should be a president or provost, it should be a dean. So it is not that. Leadership means those there is some work, some leader, there will be some follower. If it is the head of the department, he is some follower as a fellow colleagues. And if he is some sort of, say, assistant register, he is having some followers as an employee, as a staff. So everywhere where you are having someone under you, you should motivate the employee and manage and lead by example. Whatever this you are having in the manual, you be an example. We should not preach it, we should act it. And next is cultivate leadership experience by developing culture of support. You have to just authorize others. You have to be such delegate powers to others. And you should take the leadership, that's a culture of support. Unless he is a leader, you cannot be a better leader. So that we have to do that. These are the major things, and how we can do the small things. Best practices is not that, sir, we are having this type of examination. We are having this type of, these are the small things. This comes under this umbrella. So let's think about the broader things. What are the best practices we have to do? And to achieve this, what our should be strategies, then we will point it out and communicate openly. The more you discuss, and the better way you can resolve all the issues. 90% of the problems of the global problems, only the communication gap. Maybe your friendship, maybe your household, maybe in your department also. If you think he's not good, you do not ask him to sit on across a table and discuss on them. You perceive, you keep a perception, you develop some sort of this, and at the one fine day, you say, yes, your service is not required there. So communicate openly so that you can resolve the problem and encourage actions and innovation. Small actions also, we have to encourage them. You have to tell them, yes, boss, you did it. Wonderful. Wonderful. I know you can do it. A small sort of appreciation. Not every time the monetary benefits will encourage others. Small appreciation may also encourage others. And the next one, it is very important. Very important. Nowadays, we are having enormous information. Information ki kami nahi hai aajkal. This is an IT era is now ended, and I say this is a social era. If you ask for one information, 1,000 information is available on YouTube, Google, and everywhere. So how to use this? How you can sit on the top of this world, and how you can manage this? You should have a system. You must know that how can use this. So this is might be as an enterprise resource planning, or it may be what you call the ERP or good type of software. How can employ this? So this is important. And next, of course, balance the needs of organization, needs of the people. Very tricky one. When I say that you motivate the people, you communicate openly, they become open to you, they can speak their heart, they can open their heart. And whenever it comes this, you can do this. Someday he will come to you, boss, I'm having some problem, you know, with this menial salary, I cannot this achieve my both ends. I need some sort of this enhancement of salary or some appraisal here. And someone will say, I need more holidays, you know, in my house, I am having an ill mother. Okay, there is some expectation from you. but you cannot fulfill all these things. There is some limitation. As a leader, you have some limitation, and the resource limitation, rule limitation, so many limitations are there. But you have to very balancedly, and this need of the individual need of the organization, you have to balance it. The leader who can balance it properly is successful. And this is the practice we have to learn. This is the best practice we have to learn from others. How do people do that? How other institutions could do that? It is not that all the employees get this salary in 7 digits or 6 digit salary. Then how they can put it their best? Next and final one is instill an extreme sense of urgency. Unless you date it and find it out when I have to do this, you have to put in a timeline. If I do this, I will do by January. This I have to achieve by February. There's a PERT chart where it's a progress evaluation chart. What I say, we have to find it out. Unless you do that, you cannot achieve it. So these are the broad practices for inequality accreditation. But for this, different small and strategy wise, we can discuss. Now I can say this, fine, these are these things. Then how can go for it? For accreditation, how can go for it? I'm not here going to do that, sir. NAAC is having this much of criteria, 7 criteria, this criteria. Everyone knows that. And this is available and it's open. So you know that NAAC is having 7 criteria, 1,000 points, and NBA also this 10 criteria, this one. I'm not going to do that. But how to do this? What is the first step? First is we have to identify what level we are looking for. Whether we're looking for NBA level, we are looking for ISO, we are looking for NAAC, what the level we are looking for. But that level, we have to find out what the qualities are there. For 5 criteria, 6 criteria, 7 criteria, what are the criteria to define? Finding after defining and identify the level. Then test validity internal quality criteria. If you are going for a NAAC, you are having a 7 criteria. Then to different the criteria. And what of the criteria are there? You put what existing data you are having and you validate for this internal quality. If this I am having, unless you put it, you cannot know what is the loophole or what is this gray area you are having. If you do not measure it, you cannot manage it. When you measure, I am not having this much of courses, or since 5 years, I have not even developed this or revisited this course. Then you will say, what I'm doing then? So this you have to validate internal quality, then determine the method of testing. What method I have to do this, and so find out this. This is, you will find it out again. The manual is there. You will go for NAAC. There is an SOP also there. But for that, we can discuss later on. And then internal quality check. If you do this, after completing this, you have to find it out, is it okay? So internal audit, what you will do? First, internal audit and external audit. Internal audit means you have, as a department, as a school, you have done this. And what happens, every parent thinks that their children are very qualified, they are resourceful, they are intelligent, and they are the best in the world. But what are these gray areas he's having? What are these bad practices he having? He probably, the mother and the father, they do not even find it out. So only it can be this discovered when a guest comes in and they say this child is behaving abruptly. He is not even greeting their guest. So similarly, what you have to do, find it out, audit yourself, what exactly you are. If you are a pharmacy department, ask the chemistry department, please visit us and say, this is the quality levels and this SOP said this, and I have achieved this, whether I have achieved, how many this level I have achieved, please say this. So unless you have an internal quality check, you cannot find out your gray areas and loopholes. And once the internal quality satisfactory is there, then you have a scope for improvement. You improve this, then you compare with the peers. Peers means I am an ITM university now. And let me check with what Medicaps does this. In this area particular level, what Medicaps does. And this, then I can discuss with them and I can improve it up. So compare with the peers. After that, you open it to external evaluation. Once this all levels are achieved, then we can say, we can invite some other universities, please come and see this. Then after external evaluation, we can go for this accreditation. This is the next step, what we looking for. Now, at the end, I will only say that the future is too important to just let it happen. Usko यूं मत छोड़ दीजिए. If you leave it here, you do not know what will happen tomorrow. We are in a rat race now. This is a competitive world. The education, what you're thinking 50 years back, it is not an education, it is a corporate style, he said. And today you might be big for some other people. But if you only maintain standard in education, that means you are deteriorating. This future, there is enough competition. And as you grow up and you go up, you will get less oxygen. So this future is too important. You cannot leave it in. Thank you very much. And now I'm open to questions.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for such informational and motivational lecture. Now the section is open for question answer.
Yeah, Patnaik sir, I would like to start that.
Yeah, please.
Sir, there is a big gap between a industry and institute. And that's also important for the growth of the faculty,
right,
and for the growth of the university. I always tell my fellow colleague, if institute grow, you will grow.
Right.
That's important. So for this, how we can fulfill that gap between industry and institute, even all the field, either in engineering, in pharmacy, all the field, huge gap is there.
Great.
But
great.
I would like to tell about something about the ITMBU, what we have initiated. We have signed MoU with L&T.
Right.
L&T is a big company, they have an Hazira. And what we are doing, we are training their employees, those are in diploma, engineering. So we have with L&T and our faculty of mechanical engineering. Dr. Jay is there and others, Dr. Neeraj and team and our director, Baba Paiser. So they have initiated this MoU. Even a pharmacy also initiated one collaboration with Amneal Pharma. That's a multinational pharma.
Yeah.
And especially we have taken care, and recently we have received 2 HPLC as a gift.
Yeah, okay, that's
so
great.
This how we can reduce the gap between industry and academics.
Yeah, Dr. Bimal, it is a big subject and important subject, and we can discuss it at length. But in one nutshell, I can say, it always starts from a need and then a trust. Two things are there. Industry and institutions are two different poles. And I'm just speaking a little lightly. Do not, I think, do not take it too very seriously. Every industry thinks that what we are doing well ahead of this, what institution teaches. And every institution having one sort of academic arrogance that we teach the people, we know the academics one. So there is always a gap between industry and institutions, like a generation gap. So number one, first, what we think that in institution, we need some industries. Here, in institution, say commercialization is a very abusive word. We say do not commercialize education, right? And similarly, some industry, academics is a useless word, because at the end of the day, he needs the production. Do not work for academics. आपको यहाँ research करने का time नहीं है. At the end of the day, I have to produce this. So two abusive words, we have to bring it together. So first of this, if I have something, I must admit, my leader, my head of the department, my dean must admit that this is my area where I have to develop. So this thing, I have to accept the industry. And the industry also accept us. Otherwise, whatever this individual effort we are making, say, Dr. Bimal, you are having your knowledge and expertise and experience, you develop contact with some industry. Might be it is in personal capacity, you can convince them, but they are having some expectation. They cannot leave the platform for your students just to have an experiment and learn. They have invested money on that. At the end of the day, they are answerable. So we can have a detailed discussion on that, and we can have this. I will also request my director IQSU also, so that someday on half an hour or 45 minutes we can discuss, and we have certain progress, and that scale will not be applicable. One yardstick will not be applicable to measure all the things. We have different, but here the gap will be there, always will be there. After 100 years also, this gap will be there. As I told you, this is like a generation gap. Even whatever I am progressive is there, my children say, no, Papa, this is no, it is, you are too old for this. So that's a, but by saying this, I'm not escaping from this, my responsibility. Say there will not be an industry institute opportunity. Industry institutional collaboration will be there. But whenever the industry will think this institution is helpful for my production, then he will come forward. But the institution will think, yes, this requirement, whatever they learned here, I can include in my curriculum so that my students will. So students can happily will go there. And some sort of problems we have to also follow. I can just give you one example. I am citing one example when I was in some other university. Me and one of my placement professor in charge, he was with me, and we went to an industry. And we were looking for this, how our students can be put in this intensive program. After discussion, I discovered something. They are hiring some semi-skilled people. I asked, how many semi-skilled people you are hiring? He told near about 30, 35 semi-skilled people you have. How much salary you give them? Around 20,000 semi-skilled. Then I said, these are the ITI pass and diploma people. If I give you a BTech people in this semi-skilled, will you take them? Why not, sir? Definitely. So can I send my students to that? So I can give you the 2025 replace this, and you pay them only half of the salary or 5,000 only. Then his question was that, sir, you will send it only one semester. And what will happen in the next semester? So then I sit with all the deans and discuss and decided what we will do. Instead of sending the intensive and only odd semester, we can divide this into some people will go in even semester, some people go in the odd semester. Then he will have a perennial supply of human resource for that. Then again question arises, sir, what will happen after this? They will stop it, and when the new people will come, we have to again train them to work on the floor. So there will be so many things. That what we did there, we said no. What this our curriculum aspect? What they after completion of the intensive, he has to come and give a presentation. Then he will get the grade. Then what we did after this completion of this, when the new student will join, 15 days when they train these students, then they will get the grade. So that's why one institution and individual or industry, this synergy only will happen when you understand each other's problem well. There is not a single solution. And this is that means if I say some solution, this is not one example. This examples may not work in a small industry. So we have to find it out. Thank you, sir. Any questions?
Any more questions?
Anything?
Hello.
Yeah, yes, please.
Yes, sir. Neeraj, sir.
Yes. Sir, I am Dr. Neeraj Mehta, IQSC coordinator at IBMB.
Great, sir.
I observed that there are 20% or 30% faculty members who are doing excellent research work, putting efforts in the research, publication, conferences. But there are 70 to 80% staff members who are engaged less in the research. There are three dimensions as a faculty member. Academic responsibilities, administrative responsibility, and the research responsibility.
Right.
So those faculty members, 70% or 60%, are more engaged in the academic part, teaching, learning part, and they are less engaged in the research part because they are not with time.
Right.
So time management is a very big problem for faculty members.
Yeah.
So how a normal faculty member can manage his time to contribute towards research and teaching and administrative, clerical work, everything?
Okay, so I can put it in this way. Either you have asked a right question to a wrong person or a wrong question to a right person. Right? Anyway, Dr. Neer is what I say. This I can put it in this way. You must have heard about Wilford Pareto theory. He is a great philosopher and also management expert from German. He also told this: in any institution and on any organization, Here develop a theory, 80-20 theory. Only 20% of the people, they contribute the 80% of the requirement. And the rest 80% of the people, they give and contribute only 20% of that. May it be in education institutions, may it be production, may it be even if you go to a court also, you will find only 20% advocates. They are having a huge load of 80% cases, and all the 80% the advocates and wakils, they are having the 20% cases, and they are working here and there. When they see a people, sir, आपको कुछ करना है, वकालत करना है, यहाँ पे मैं कर दूंगा, like this. It happens everywhere. It also holds good in institution. All the faculty members, who should not expect that they are very good in research. Some having a students-oriented NAAC, they want to mingle with the students, and some having some sort of leadership quality. I want to do this, some social work or NSS work, and some is having an interest in this, some cultural functions. I will do this. So every faculty are having different type of interest. Yes, if you talk about the NAAC, you are a NAAC coordinator. I will say IQAC. NAAC says how many faculty members total. If you are having a 300 faculties or 200 faculties, what is the total score of research publication? They do not go by one. It is not a single one-to-one mapping on that. But by this, if you say research, how they will get the time for that? Someone is doing everywhere. If a teacher is not only for a teacher, this is very, I say, a wrong terminology we are using for the faculty members, a teacher. He who teaches is a teacher. Everyone is a teacher. It is not a faculty member's role is not to teach. And the very fundamental mistake in university, what we do, that our role completes when we deliver a talk or completes a courses and take an examination and give them the grade, then our role completes. No. The very fundamental issue is that we have to make the student learn, not to teach. So that aspect, that's the outcome. So here is a teacher, he has to teach, he has to evaluate, he has to encourage, he has to mix with the students, and at the same time he has to do all the administrative work. Administrative work for what? For the students only. One thing we forget, sir, attendance fee karna padta hai. This is for the students. So the student-centric work is with us. And if you do this, we do not get much time for research. Why 2 years? Why 2 years? Is there any rule that we can only do the research from 9 to 5? After 5, this particular compartment of our brain, which is agitated for the research, is being switched off? No research can be done in 9 to 5. No research. And you will see the best institutions in and around the world. You will find those institutions, those who are having always lighting in this 24 hours in the laboratory and the library are the best institutions.
Agreed, sir. In IITs, there are 24-hour library and
yes,
laboratories are open.
And again,
even in Naipur, Mohali, yeah,
all this, all this.
Labs are open for 24 hours.
I will cite an example. I was having some course in IIM Ahmedabad. So during that time, long back, I am saying, after 9 o'clock, we at some time 9 o'clock after dinner, we get an announcement and notice that 11 p.m. there is a class. So we have made our mind so narrow that's only 9 to 5 teaching will be there, and after there will be no teaching, no learning, nothing. Your learning starts after 5. Your might be teaching starts from that learning. You want to teach something and to make them learn. And for the research, and most of the faculty, they are little bit confused. If I do some research, I have to do in the college hours and office hours so that the office or the college institution will be benefited. Boss, this is not the property of the institution. This is your professional growth. Whenever you leave this institution, you carry this credibility along with you. Only institution gets the credibility when you have published a paper during your stay tenure here, that some sort of benefits he is getting. So if you do not want to enrich yourself and time management, and that time management, it is not, and time is not required. Do you think that time is a 24 hours? Time is not confined in a clock. Time is confined here. If you think I have a time, then you have a time. You think I don't have time? You are absolutely correct. Kahan time hai? 9 to 5, I'm totally busy. I'm coming here and doing this work, doing that work. Head is asking me, dean is asking me, and the provost is always hammering on me. I don't have time. You are absolutely correct. Nahi hona chahiye. So if you have this attitude for that research, you have to develop. If I have to do, I have to do. No one can help you. So time management, I think, what is this? We have two contradictory things always we discuss, and what I do not like. One, people discuss about the stress management, another people discuss about the time management. There is nothing like a stress, there is nothing like a time management. This is a creation and an excuses what we create. Stress, what is stress again management? What you want to be, what exactly you are not. And that's a stress you create. And similar time, what you do not enjoy it, but you do it. That's why you do not have time. So if you do not enjoy it, definitely. Those who are saying, I do not have time, Dr. Neeraj, you must understand that this gentleman is not having that interest in that area. Put him in another area. It is not his forte. If he is not doing research, nothing. All the faculty members cannot do that. ये 5 उंगलियां बराबर नहीं होता है. So you put him in another work. But if you force him to do that, you cannot do it. You please remember, those who are not having any interest, you cannot make them interest. Whatever effort you put, you cannot make a lion vegetarian. Thank you. Next, please.
Rightly said by the sir. Good academician can become a good researcher and vice versa.
Yeah.
Any more questions?
Sir, one question from my side. Dr. Malias Das.
Yeah.
Should I ask?
Please.
Sir, I've seen some accreditations awarded. It is valid for 5 to 7 years. So why it is only for 5 to 7 years, not forever?
Interesting. Interesting. Very good question, sir.
Thank you.
So this questions also I asked my mom when I was a child. I asked mom, why you ask me to brush daily? Because I brush today, again tomorrow morning, why you asked me to do that? Then see, no, you have to do it daily, because its cycle is one day. And when you sleep, some sort of in saliva and something, some germs create there, right? That's why you have to brush every day. So brushing cycle is one day, right? And similarly, your might be study cycle and examination cycle may 1 year. So similarly, accreditation means the 5 year with this accreditation, what standard before 5 year, what were the standards you have fulfilled that. Over the period of times, there are standards have changed. Just I want to ask a question. What you eat today, whether you are eating the same food 5 years back, what the TV you are using today, whether you are watching the same TV 5 years back, whatever the vehicle you are not using, what are the mobile you are using, whether you are using the same mobile 5 years back, and what are the configuration of your computer today, whether you are in the same thing the 5 years back, and whatever the movie you are seeing in the 35mm, 70mm 5 years back, are you doing the same thing today? Over the period of times, everything changes. You have to also find it out. This again I will do. I told in my speech also, this is like a annual health checkup. Do you say that in 2016, I had a health checkup? Why should I go for this? Right? So this everything is a cycle. To improve upon, you have to do that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Next, please.
Any more questions?
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your insightful presentation. Very informative. Exactly what we needed to hear.
Thank you, sir.
That's very true. So only a busy person can find time. Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. And
Any other question? I think I'm running over time.
No, sir. We are on time. No issue. The take-home message is accreditation will be fruitful to the all stakeholders, including society, management, institution, faculty member, non-teaching member. So we should say, come and evaluate us so that we can identify our strength and weakness. Accordingly, the strength can be maintained or increased, and the weakness can be rectified. Am I right, sir?
Yes. And what is this? This is not a one-day game. This is not a one-time thing. This is a habit you have to continuously. And continuously more and more interact with all this. That's why this MoU and the collaboration is required. What I am, this is what I can put in this way. What I am speaking is simply the repetition of the words and knowledge what I am having. If you want to hear something new from me, then I have to learn some new from others. So that others is who? That is my peers. And that's why I go for MoU and discuss with the people, so learn more, so that I can speak more. So that is the essence of the collaboration. And this is the buzzword for accreditation and best practices.
Yeah, Patnaik, I would like to add that one.
Yeah,
Passion
please.
is important for teaching.
Yes, sir.
If anybody having a passion.
Yeah. Of course.
Passion for your subject.
Exactly.
Passion for your specialization. Suppose I am working in herbal.
Yeah.
So I have that passion for herbal drugs.
Right.
So that is very, very important is for all the teachers. That also one of the take home messages.
Exactly, sir.
Create a passion for your subject.
So that's why I told Dr. Neeraj that we should not ask a wrong question to a right person or a right question to a wrong person. Yeah.
Now moving further to conclude this event, I request Dr. Neeraj Mehta, IQAC Coordinator, ITMS at Pradha University, to propose a vote of thanks. Neeraj sir, over to you.
Yes. So I would like to share one small story. I have
Thank you, Ganpati sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. It was a very nice lecture
Thank you, sir.
for the young faculties.
Yeah, Ganpati sir is our registrar sir in the city.
Okay. Hello, sir. Hello. So I invite all the authorities and the faculty members also to our campus. So let's it's a beginning, and with on this onset of the new year, let's have a new beginning also. आप सब लोग आइए सर, you are most welcome here, and the more and more we interact, more and more we can understand each other, and you can explore the possibilities in which area. It is not a broad area. We have to find it a small area where we can develop. It is not the broad that we can do for this. It may so happen that you are starting your NAAC accreditation. So we are having a very well developed and quality people here in IQAC, like Professor Kosher, he is there as a director. We can help you in somewhere. You are might be having some good equipments, or you are having some collaboration somewhere, or we are having some contact somewhere. So we can help each other. Let us find that small areas.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And you are also welcome with your team at the right team.
I wish I could be there today here, and it would be very nice to meet people physically. That is, of course, this virtually we can fulfill only, I say, okay, we have a meeting, but the essence and sense what we get in eye-to-eye contacts, we are missing here.
Yeah. So if it is possible in 1 or 2 minutes, other deans also, Professor Rahim sir, I think he's not, and Faisal.
Here our doctor, yeah, I will request my IQSA director, Dr. Kosar also.
Yes.
He will speak something on here.
Yeah, Dr. Kosar.
He's joining me, please bear with me. Yeah.
Sir, good morning, sir. Good afternoon, sir. It was a great talking to you last few days regarding this collaboration. Unfortunately, sir, we could not make it there due to some issues जो कि हमने discuss किया था sir आपसे. So first of all, thanks to all the dignitaries present virtually from this ITM for making this particular event success.